My, Naomi. Are you really feeling okay today? I mean, you were so clumsy today at dinner. Honestly, you were practically tripping over your own 2 feet the whole time. To top it all off, you spilled your dinner everywhere. It's really not something you see a well-grown adult do every day. It's honestly quite embarrassing for me to even watch you, you know?
I'm so sorry about all that, Miss Moore. I really don't know what came over me. Did the others seem upset about it all afterwards? I hope I didn't ruin their evenings.
No, they weren't really angry or anything like that. Just utterly mortified is all. Hard not to be after seeing something like that, really.
Right, makes sense. I can't believe I made such a fool of myself. I just didn't expect there to be a bag there, and I could have sworn it wasn't there before. It was almost as if it just materialized out of thin air. That was your bag, right? The one that I tripped over?
And what if it was? Are you implying something here, Naomi? What? You're really trying to pin the blame on me? Are you really that desperate to save face? That's quite a bold accusation, don't you think?
No, of course not. That's not what I meant at all. I'm just trying to understand what happened. It's just that I clearly remember it being next to you at first, so I was really confused when it just magically appeared there in my path. Just exactly where it needed to be in that moment caused the most chaos, you know?
Well, it's my bag, and I've got every right to put it wherever I like, whenever I like, don't I? It's my personal property after all. Besides, it's your fault for being such a klutz to begin with. Who trips over a bag anyways? Honestly, it's not like it was some sort of obstacle course. And you know what? I've always meant to say this, but you've got no manners, Naomi. Absolutely none. Goodness, did your parents teach you nothing about how to behave in front of others? It's simply appalling.
Manners, you say? Well, that's quite rich coming from you, Mrs. Moore. Funny you should mention that, too, because my real parents actually beat it over my head growing up. Can you believe that? They were relentless. Was there anything wrong with my conduct tonight? I'm genuinely curious to hear your feedback. Surely someone as well-mannered as you can enlighten me on the finer points of etiquette.
Don't you dare patronize me, girl. You've got some nerve. To think that you're not even aware of how uncivilized you act, it's truly astounding. You didn't even bother to eat all the plates clean. That's just basic table manners, Naomi.
Mrs. Moore, we were at a traditional Chinese restaurant. If anything, isn't it considered rude to the owners if we were to not leave a bit? It's a sign of respect, you know.
Are you telling me that I'm wrong? How dare you question my knowledge? Who the hell do you think you are talking back to your mother-in-law like that? You've got a lot to learn about respect, young lady.
No, that really wasn't my intention at all. I would never intentionally disrespect you. Sorry if I offended you, but I was just trying to clarify something I thought I knew.
I've been alive for about twice as long as you have, Naomi, so I've got a bit more life experience under my belt. Do you really think I do anything that isn't the least bit civilized? I've always prided myself on my impeccable manners. You're one twisted bitch if you think you can just blame other people for your own lack of etiquette. If you're really going to be Leo's wife, I'd sure hope you never even dream of taking that sort of attitude with me, girl, or there will be consequences.
I sincerely apologize, Mrs. Moore. I truly do. I guess I was just remembering things wrong. I must have mixed some things up. It's all a bit hazy now.
You're damn right you did, Naomi. You've got a lot of work to do. Besides, you were all over the place in regards to other things, weren't you? It was like you were in your own little world. You've got no manners as well as not a modicum of civility. It's truly disheartening. I'm beyond embarrassed being the mother-in-law of someone like you. It's a constant source of shame.
Again, I'm sorry to let you down in such a way. I'll try my hardest to improve. I'll do my best to live up to your expectations going ahead. I know I have a long way to go.
Going ahead? When exactly is that going to be? You've been saying that for ages now. And what, you're going to do your best? Clearly that hasn't been enough until now, has it? You're far too lax for someone in your situation. You need to step up your game. Leo's such a kind boy, so he was defending you and all, but you should be embarrassed that he'd even have to in the first place. It reflects poorly on you. I mean, I'm out here only demanding what's expected of you, aren't I? It's not like I'm asking for the moon. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. It's a waste of my time.
Leo's always been there for me, and he's never let me down. He's a true gem. I'll do my best so I won't keep having to depend on him like this, so that I can support him instead from now on.
God, you're good at lining up excuses and saying the right things. I'll give you that. You've got a silver tongue. But anyone can talk all that talk. It means nothing. Actions speak louder than words, Naomi. I'm going to be moving in with the two of you from next month, right? That's the plan, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I've heard from Leo. We're excited to have you join us.
So I only want you to have at least a modicum of courtesy and etiquette by then. Is that too much to ask? I'm only saying this all for you, you know. I want what's best for you, even if you don't see it that way. I mean, I guess if you're so uncivilized, I'd have a hard time inviting my friends over as well. It would be quite awkward. You're a sheer embarrassment the way you are now. It looked bad on me. I can't have that.
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Moore. I understand your concerns. I'll figure it out by then, so please, give me a chance to prove myself.
And what the hell are you going to do if you fail to do so by then, huh? I need a guarantee. I'm going to be moving in the next month. There's no turning back now. Oh, wait a minute. That's it. I have an idea. Naomi, are you free tomorrow? I have something in mind.
Yes, I think I should be free tomorrow. Why do you ask?
Then that's just perfect. It's all falling into place. You should come over tomorrow. We'll have a little one-on-one session. I'll slap some of that etiquette you so very lack into you. It'll be a real eye-opener.
All right, I understand. I'll be there.
I'll see you tomorrow then. Don't be late. My, it's so reassuring to see that you're so obedient. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be quite the experience. I'll whip you right into shape, so you better come prepared. Don't say I didn't warn you. Hey, Naomi, what's the big idea, huh? You got some explaining to do. Did you tell Leo about what we're doing today? Did you spill the beans?
Yeah, I did. Is there a problem with that? It's only natural that I tell him what I'll be up to, right? I like to keep him in the loop. Is something the matter? You seem a bit agitated.
Well, thanks to you and your big mouth, Leo got angry at me. He was fuming. I bet you just exaggerated everything, didn't you? You twisted my words to make me look bad. Painted me out as some sort of bitch, huh? That's just not fair.
No, of course not. I would never do that. I just told him exactly what happened, nothing more, nothing less.
What, so you went ahead and told him everything? Every little detail?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I believe in transparency with my husband. So no, I didn't exaggerate anything at all. I was simply relaying the facts.
You absolute idiot. You've really done it this time. Who on earth said you could do such a thing? Of course you aren't allowed to tell him everything. That's basic common sense. I called you over today so I could teach you some manners, didn't I? It was supposed to be a private lesson. So I had to do even things I didn't want to do myself, too. I had to go above and beyond, all because of your loose lips.
What do you mean by that? Things you didn't want to do. That's quite intriguing.
Well, I gave you an entire earful and all, didn't I? I laid it on thick. I mean, I really didn't want to, but I didn't have much of a choice but to be a little strict to get the message across. You weren't exactly receptive at first.
Yes, I suppose. I can be a bit stubborn at times. I mean, I know you were trying to teach me some respect, but I was quite shocked when you just threw out the food I cooked. That was a bit extreme, don't you think? You really weren't doing that out of spite? Were you trying to punish me?
Of course not. What kind of monster do you take me for? I did all that just to teach you some manners, obviously. It was a tough love approach. So why on earth would you just go and tell him everything unfiltered? You made a real mess of things.
Well, if you put it like that, I'm very sorry. I didn't realize the consequences of my actions. I wasn't being considerate enough. I should have thought things through more carefully.
Seriously, get it together, Naomi. You're making my life difficult. If you're that inconsiderate, I'm the one who gets an earful from Leo, and I don't appreciate that. Just how are you going to take responsibility if my relationship with Leo gets worse? You need to think about the bigger picture.
I guess that'd be difficult for me to do, but I'll try my best to make amends. It is true that Leo's been worried for a while about how you would treat me, so I'll do my best to be more well-mannered and respectful towards you. So is it possible for you to tone it down a little? Just a notch or two would make a world of difference.
Excuse me? What the hell are you daydreaming about? You've got some nerve. Don't think you'll ever make a good wife with that sort of attitude. You need to be more submissive and obedient. I'm going to keep up the heat from here on, so you better be prepared. Things are about to get even more intense.
I see. I understand. I'll brace myself. I'll do my best to meet your expectations.
Oh, and I'm planning on going over what I taught you today as well, so you're free this week, aren't you? We can schedule another session.
Actually, I've got plans this week with Leo, so I'd really appreciate it if you could choose another day. I don't want to cancel on him.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're prioritizing Leo over your own self-improvement. I'm making time to teach you things that you should already know. It's for your own good. And are you really going to ignore what I'm doing for you here? You're being incredibly ungrateful.
All right, I'll see if I can reschedule with Leo. I don't want to disappoint you. So what are we going to be doing? What's on the agenda for our next session?
So one of my friends is a yoga instructor. She's quite talented, and she's going to teach you how to lose all that toxicity and be more well-mannered. It's a holistic approach. Think of it like a detox. You'll be cleansed from the inside out. So you should totally come along. It'll be a great experience for you.
Is it all right if I were to join suddenly? Would that not cause your friend any trouble? I don't want to impose myself or anything.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. She's very accommodating. We're great friends, so we're totally over stuff like that. No need to be formal. But I'm going to have her whip you into shape, so you better do your best not to be embarrassment in front of everyone else. I won't tolerate any slip-ups.
I see. I understand. I'll be on my best behavior.
After all, a shitty wife like you needs to be whipped back into shape. It's for your own benefit. Take this as a great opportunity to look back on yourself and make some much-needed changes. So don't you even think about skipping out on this. You better show up, Naomi, or you'll regret it.
Thanks for making some time for me today, Miss Moore. I appreciate it. It's been a while since I did yoga, so it was really fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
You weren't a beginner, Naomi? You tricked me.
Well, I tried it out a few times in the past, so I had some basic knowledge. Is something the matter? You seem a bit flustered.
Of course something's the matter. What is wrong with you? You've made a fool of me. Thanks to you, you made me lose face. I was humiliated in front of my friend. Is this your way of getting back at me for everything? Are you seeking revenge? Is that it?
Well, that wasn't my intention at all, but you clearly, needed some directions, so I did the least I could do as your daughter-in-law to instruct you. I was just trying to help.
You instruct me? You've got a lot of nerve. Don't get cocky, you stupid bitch. You're getting way ahead of yourself. Know your place. Just because you've done it a bit before, you think you got the right to instruct me? I've been doing yoga for years.
I mean, I've got an instructor's certificate, so technically I've got every right to offer guidance. So there's nothing wrong with being instructed by me. It's perfectly acceptable.
An instructor? You? Are you being serious right now? Don't make me laugh.
But of course, my mom used to be a fitness instructor, and she's always been very strict about health and staying fit. It was a way of life for us. So I figured yoga was a great way to stay fit and be less toxic. It's a mind-body connection. Helps me stay centered and well-mannered and everything. It's a wonderful practice. Getting my license to teach them both actually led to me teaching manners and etiquette of other cultures as well. It's all interconnected.
Now hold on a minute. You literally teach manners as well? That's news to me. So what about everything until now? All the criticism and lectures.
By everything until now, are you possibly referring to all the things you've been criticizing me about? The constant nitpicking? Well, as I've told you before, you've actually learned all those things incorrectly. You've got it all wrong. I mean, I told you so in regards to the whole eating everything on the plates thing, right? That was a major faux pas.
But you said that was all you remembering things wrong. You backpedaled. You said so. Why on earth would you keep your mouth shut about it? You let me continue making a fool of myself.
Well, you seemed so confident about what you knew, so I figured it'd be rude if I just denied what you were saying flat out. I didn't want to cause a scene. I mean, you also said it yourself. You're twice my age. You must know what you're talking about. Surely no one who's so old would be spreading misinformation like that, right?
Don't fucking play dumb with me. You knew exactly what you were doing. In that case, you should have told me so until you had me convinced. You should have been more persistent. Even today, my friend made fun of me for getting things wrong. It was so embarrassing. Why the hell do I have to be the one getting laughed at? It's not fair.
I mean, it's not like you listened to me when I told you. You were too busy being defiant. Besides, you're the one who was trying to get me to be the laughingstock in the first place, right? You set me up to fail.
What are you talking about now? That's preposterous.
You were trying to embarrass me, thinking I was some novice, weren't you, Miss Moore? You barely kept it together the entire time. Despite that, your friend left me alone today. She didn't say a word to me. She didn't even bother needing to instruct me. Not that she could have anyways. What I was doing was far beyond her. Think some novice could have pulled off what I did? I don't think so.
Well, I get it. You're a quick learner. I'll give you that. I mean, there's no point in teaching anything advanced to a total novice, right? It would go right over their head. So at first I was just messing around with you a little bit, testing the waters. I didn't have any other ulterior motives or anything. Embarrassing you, that's some nonsense. I would never intentionally do that.
Well, if that's really true, you wouldn't have acted the way you did. Your actions spoke volumes. Anyone in their right mind would have explained their intentions first, especially to someone they think is a novice. It's just common courtesy. And don't think I forgot about how everyone else was acting as well. They were in on it too. All of them just holding back their laughter and waiting for me to mess up. It was like a cruel game. They all came just to make fun of me, didn't they? It was a setup.
You were just imagining things, that's what it is. You're being paranoid. That's got nothing to do with all this. It's a completely separate issue.
Yeah, I suppose it's irrelevant. For now. We can revisit that later. Besides, I doubt things like this would ever happen again anyways. I learned my lesson.
What do you mean by that? What are you going to do, Naomi?
As it turns out, apparently some of your friends know my mom. It's a fairly small world, after all. From now on, I'm actually going to be the one teaching that yoga class. Isn't that ironic? Funny how things turn out, huh? How the tables turn. Heard that there's some student who's got no manners, and they'd appreciate my help dealing with her. Can you believe that?
No way. Did my friend really say that? That's outrageous.
Not only did she say that, but apparently she never really liked what you were doing. She thought it was unprofessional. Bringing newcomers to the class and hanging them out to dry. What kind of instructor appreciates that sort of culture in their class? It's toxic. I mean, you've been given warnings before, right? People have complained.
But that's just, well, unfair is what it is. I considered her a close friend to me all this time. I can't believe she betrayed me like this.
Well, those are two completely separate matters that have nothing to do with me. I'm just an innocent bystander in all of this. Anyways, that's how things are now, so I'm in charge now. From now on, I'm going to be the one re-educating you. You're in my hands now. Oh, and don't think I'll go easy on you. I'm going to be whipping you into shape, so you best be prepared.
I see. I understand. I'm at your mercy.
Miss Moore, I just got off the phone with Leo. He had some news. Is it really true that you've decided not to move in with us? Oh, that's a shame. That just makes me so sad. I was looking forward to living with you. We could have had so much fun together. Anyways, all that aside, I'm going to be coming over today as well, so...
Please, just let me off already. I can't take it anymore. Put yourself in my shoes and imagine what it's like to be grilled like this day and day after. It's exhausting.
Well, it's not just your health routine that's got problems, Miss Moore. There's so much more to address. You clearly have many toxic habits and manners that so clearly need fixing. It's an uphill battle. I'm just simply coming over to instruct you on how to overcome them. It's for your own good. No need to throw a fit about it. I'm doing you a huge favor here. You should be grateful.
Like hell you are. You're just enjoying torturing me. Every time you come, just criticize everything I do. Nothing is ever good enough. I've lived for twice as long as you have. I've got decades of experience. Why the hell do I have to be ordered around by some perky little bitch like you? It's degrading is what it is.
Because you've got no manners in comparison to that perky bitch. You could learn a thing or two from me. And clearly, based on our past, you've got quite the fear of embarrassment. You're always worried about what others think. It's better to fix these things before they get out of hand, don't you think? Prevention is key, Miss Moore.
Ordering me around at class and even back at home, it's relentless. I've had enough. I'm sick and tired of it all. I'm at my breaking point. Thanks to you keeping that act up even in front of my friends and family, I've just been losing face left and right. It's mortifying.
And that's exactly why I need to instruct you even more. You're a work in progress. Besides, isn't that exactly what you used to do to me all the time? You were the queen of criticism. Throwing a tantrum all of a sudden now that it's your turn? How childish. You aren't a child anymore, you know. You need to act your age. You're a grown-up. Twice my age, that. You should know better.
Everything's all fucked because of you. My life is in shambles. My friends make fun of me, and I've lost my place at my yoga class. It's all your fault. I've given up on moving in with you two, so just get off my back already. I'm done with this.
Now, let's calm down a little, Miss Moore. That's my yoga class you're talking about. I'm the one in charge. And you moving in has nothing to do with the state of your toxic lifestyle. Those are two separate issues. As your daughter-in-law, it's just been so embarrassing to have a mother who's got no manners. Plus, there's so much I still want to teach you. You've barely scratched the surface. Don't think I'll ever quit until you're truly reformed. I'm in it for the long haul. So don't worry, I've got your back. I'm not going anywhere.
What's Leo saying about all this? Surely he's put a stop to this madness. I've already told Leo about how much trouble you've been causing me. I've kept him informed every step of the way. Knowing that boy hasn't told you to cut it out already, he must be on my side.
Oh, Leo? Well, if anything, my husband's told me to crank up the heat. He wants me to be even stricter. Said something about how this is a great opportunity to reform you. He's fully supportive.
What? You're lying. He would never say that.
Nope, honest. I'm telling you the truth. He's always been worried about how you'd embarrass yourself next, and he's actually really grateful I'm taking the time to fix you up like this. He sees the value in my efforts. As Leo's wife, making sure you don't embarrass yourself any further is the very least I can do. It's my duty.
No, wait, please. I'm begging you. Look, I'll apologize about everything I've done to you until now, okay? I'll admit my wrongdoings. So please, just forgive me already. Please, I'm begging you. I'll do anything.
Absolutely not. Forgiveness is earned, not given. Your condescending attitude towards other people is just horrible for others to watch. It's truly appalling. I mean, imagine what a bitch you'd have to be to just kick others down and feel good about it. It's sickening.
And so I'm saying I'll apologize about that, right? I'm taking ownership of my mistakes. Why won't you listen to me? I'm trying to change. Is it that fun tormenting me? Are you enjoying this?
Oh, I'm not doing this just because it's fun. That's not my motivation at all. Come on, I'm doing this because I just want my dearest mother-in-law to act with the decency you'd expect of someone her age. It's about self-respect. That's exactly the cultured and civilized lifestyle you love talking about. It's time to walk the walk. Like my husband's asked, I'll be going even harder from here on out. I'll be relentless. So don't you even think about running away, okay? There's no escape. After that, I did my best to teach her about mental and physical health, manners, and etiquette, and everything she so considered cultured. It was a comprehensive curriculum. She put up quite a fight at first, but after realizing that there was no way out of it, she actually started to take my classes quite seriously. She finally surrendered. Now she's actually gotten quite proficient at all the things I've taught her. She's a changed woman. During that process, maybe she managed to objectively face all the terrible things she's done in the past, because she one day properly apologized to me for her actions. It was a heartfelt moment. Given how serious she was this time around, unlike the previous countless apologies in the past, I actually found it in me to forgive her. It was time to move on. Now our relationship is that of teacher and student as well as mother and daughter. It's a unique bond we share. I'm really glad I was able to find a healthy way to deal with her formerly toxic attitude and that we were able to become closer as a result of it. It was a journey of growth for both of us. Sure, our relationship isn't like most mother-daughter relationships. It's unconventional, to say the least. But I'm quite content with the one we have today. It's fulfilling in its own way.